Hey, what's up? This is Chosen. It is Monday. It's time to get the week kicked off for Raid Shadow Legends. Now, right out the gate, first of all, if you are having problems today, you are not the only one. You can see right here next to my head, there is a percentage thing for downloading updates on Raid, and I see content creators posting in the Plarium chat that we have that some people are having issues with PlariumPlay and getting into it and getting the game launched successfully, at least on the PC client. I haven't tried the mobile device yet, but if you're having problems with that, just know you're not the only one. It looks like there is going to be some things going on today and some things to get ironed out, but I haven't seen an official announcement from Plarium yet. But anyway, we're going to get the week kicked off and talk about what is going to be happening this week in Raid so that we can kind of set the table for the upcoming holiday fusion and everything going on. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so right out the gate, let's talk about the summoning events and what to expect this week. So we'll pull up the calendar over there on the right side. We just had 2x Sacreds right here, which I elected not to pull any because I just YOLO'd 20 for Elva. So I want to give my Sacreds a little bit of a break here, especially heading into the holiday fusion starting later this week. If I have to pull shards during that to acquire something in order to complete the fusion, I want to have a little bit of ammunition left. That means that this week is going to be some sort of 10x or guarantee. You'll probably find out about that on Wednesday or Thursday. I'll let you know about it here on the channel. And then we're getting close to wrapping up the year. We got 2x voids right before Christmas, and then around New Year's we're gonna have some sort of 10x / guarantee, whatever they try to do on their off week from a 2x. Also, we need to talk about the bonus legendary event that is going to be starting tomorrow. Now, I would say for the vast majority of you, this bonus extra legendary event around Sacred Shards is something you should probably consider skipping because we've got the fusion launching later this week, and you don't want to be in a position where you're missing out on getting enough points for the champion chase or summon rush event or whatever is live around completing the fusion. And also, we just had 2x Sacred, so you may want to hold off until we get a guaranteed event for a good champion like we just had with Elva or Nekmathar or something like that, or at least wait for 2x Sacreds. But for me, I think it's going to be worth it. I think it's going to be an event that I do because I am in what I like to call hot shards. I am in Sacred's Mercy. So last time for the Elva event, I got like a legendary in my second shard. Then I went like 17 or 18 shards, however you want to look at it, with the guaranteed Elva. But I went like 17 shards without a legendary, and that means that now I'm in Mercy because it starts after 12 shards with Sacreds. So the fact that I'm in Mercy means I'm probably going to pull like 2, 3, 4 Sacreds and get a legendary, and because of the event, that will then turn it into 2 legendaries and one that is guaranteed to not be a duplicate of the first. So for me personally, I think it's pretty high value for me to pull during the event just because I'm already in hot shards. If you're just in normal, typical Sacreds, it's probably an event you want to lean towards skipping out on. Then for clan versus clan, this week will be an off week. There is no CVC match. We will get one launching 8 days from now on next Tuesday. So this week, all you're gonna have to focus on is kind of the tournaments and events going on in game, and then the fusion launching as we head into this weekend. Then a couple days after that on Tuesday, we will get a CVC match. Also, something a little bit interesting that's been happening in Raid is that they've been doing these 3x dungeon drop events, drop fevers, they call them in game. And these were always 2x events. Now, for the first like 2.5, 3 years of Raid, they never did any sort of gear buffs or anything like that. And then they started playing around with this in the last like year and a half and doing these drop fevers, artifact enhancement events around enhancing the drop rate of a certain set. And they always did a 2x, which wasn't super impactful, but it was nice to get an extra targeted gear. Now they're messing around with bumping it up to 3x. And the way that they typically do the math on this, the way that they calculate it, is if you see over here on the left side, there'll be 9 set possibilities if you count these on the left. So what they do is they add one more possibility in there for the set that they are buffing up. So in this case, it would be speed. So instead of speed being 1/9, it would be 2/10. So it goes from like just over an 11% odds of that set dropping to exactly 20%. So it's not quite exactly 2x, but they call it 2x because you're doubling the amount of occurrences that a drop is possible to occur from 1 to 2, but the percentages actually go from like 11% to 20%. So the original was 1/9, the 2x was 2/10. Now that means that the speed set is going to be 3/11. 3 outcomes out of 11 possible. So that is pretty solid because it means that you'll be just over a 27% clip on getting those speed sets to drop. So if you do 100 runs, you should get somewhere between like 25 and 30 speed pieces. And speed is one of the better sets in the game because it can help you just kind of fill out, round out builds, and mostly is useful for like 95% of the builds in the game. I do have a sets tier list that I'm working on right now that will be out for the updated as we round out the end of the year. I will get that out to you very soon. Definitely this week. I'm working on putting that together, getting all the imaging and stuff done for that. Now, there has also been a little bit of drama around the Sand Devils Necropolis, the new dungeon in-game. A lot of people are fired up about the oil mechanic and the ascending and the layers of RNG upon RNG on trying to get good pieces, and then having some of your best 6-star legendary gear that you spent years or whatever, thousands, hundreds of thousands of energy to acquire is now worse than rare gear that actually ascends with the proper stat. I'm working on a collaboration with Smiley TK. He's got some pretty nuanced opinions about the negativity around the Sand Devils Necropolis and some of the ways that it's going to affect the game. So I want to bring him on for a discussion. We're going to try to record that today, get it released by tomorrow, but I know he's got a lot of opinions about that. But there was also a little bit of drama surrounding it because there was a champion, Nodgar, that was able to completely blast through this dungeon, and Plarium did release a statement here about some of the stuff going on. Now, the problem is that the players lucky enough to have Nodgar were able to farm up like 3 or 4 months worth of the oil. So they are going to be way ahead because of that. And Plarium says in this statement that they're not able to remove that from people's accounts. I'm sure without doing some drastic measure like rolling back the entire player base a couple days or something, which would cause an insane amount of rage. So unfortunately, they're saying there's really nothing they can do. But I guess fortunately for those of you that have Nodgar and you were able to scoop up a bunch of oil. I don't have Nodgar. I wasn't able to really test that or take advantage of that bug or anything. But there are some players, just to keep you in the loop of the news, some players that were able to farm up a ton of oil throughout the duration of that Nodgar bug. It was hot fixed within like 12 hours or something, maybe even faster, but it was there for a little bit and players were able to slam the dungeon down within a matter of seconds. And there has also been a lot of issues around the auto climb feature in the Doom Tower. So I want to show you this for a little bit here as we blast down this last wave. I have auto climb battles enabled, so it's supposed to be climbing through the stages for me automatically, and we're going to see if that is working live here on video. And if not, I'm going to show you something you can kind of try to hopefully get it to work on your end. There we go, and blast down the stage right here on my next turn. There we go. Okay, so auto climb counting down 3, 2, 1, and we're off to the next stage. And you can see that it is functioning perfectly fine. But for some of you, it may not be working, and I'll show you why that is happening. So it turns out for me, what ended up getting it to work properly again and getting the Doom Tower to function a little bit more normal, how we would expect, is messing around with the super raids setting right here. Toggling that on and off again, or just turning it off completely and then going back and starting the process to go. So for me, that's what I had to do to fix it. Let me know down below if it didn't fix it or if there was something else causing it on your end. But I was reading some people talking about that in the raid community, decided to try it, and then it worked, and I was able to do the auto climb, and it would kind of cycle through the stages, but it wasn't doing it for me. It was bugged until I kind of tried that super raid toggle on and off thing. And then once I did that, I was able to turn on the auto climb feature and have it kind of start cycling through the stages. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, and auto climb, and it'll default to auto and keep going. So there we go, just something to try out if you were having a little bit of issues with that. For the stuff happening in game currently, we've got the Dragon Tournament for the next day and a half, and the notable thing about that is it's a really good opportunity to acquire some speed gear. So you may want to at least do this until you get 1,500 points, but there is chicken and an epic book along with an opportunity to get a bunch of speed gear. So it's really not a bad idea to slam some energy into the dragon. Just be careful because we do have the fusion starting later this week. So if you're interested in getting after the fusion, which according to some of my polling here in the channel, about 70% of people are viewing the fusion as a positive kit, a kit with potential as far as going after a fusion, and about 30% were viewing it as a negative, something that we were going to think about skipping. And then tomorrow we're going to be getting a Fire Night tournament revolving around the Tellarians, where you can only use champions from those 4 factions. And the Tellarians are the top row, the Bannerlords, High Elves, Sacred Order, and Barbarians. So I'll probably get a video out here on the channel later this afternoon, early tomorrow, something like that, theory crafting some of the better champions to use for Tellarian Fire Night. Then under the events tab, the thing you really want to take note of is the Fusion warm-up event. These are usually very easy points to scoop up. So just kind of playing the game actively, you will kind of complete this, but you want to make sure this is saying 90 out of 90 on today points earned, because it's some free res for you to scoop up in preparation for the Fusion launching later this week. There's also an artifact enhancement event live for another day and a half. Good opportunity for you to go through your account, get your artifacts sorted, upgrade stuff to 8 or 12, and see what's worth keeping. But also there is a Heroes Path live right now. Most people just kind of treat these as whatever rewards I get naturally. They're not really going crazy for them, but there is a Tatura live in this one. Now, I can't imagine how hard I would have been going after this event if I didn't get lucky enough to have a Veiled Shot pull a Tatura for me in one of my summoning sessions that I had him come on the channel and pull shards for me. If I didn't get Tatura, I missed out on the Fusion. I would have definitely been going hard in the paint to finish this, but I'm not going to go down the route of trying to get 150,000 points or whatever to get this champion. But let me know down below if any of you are going crazy for Tatura. I don't anticipate a lot of people doing it, but for the people that missed out on the Fusion and have a decent amount of resources, I could see them maybe being incentivized to slam into it. Then as we go over the offers, oh wait, perfect, I could just buy it right here. We got what? Okay, yeah, I could just scoop this up real quick. Anyway, let's see if there's anything worth going over, if there's anything notable in the shop. I'm not really seeing anything. So the 3-day Soulstone pack, typically, for a little bit of context, the endgame type players or the spenders on raid, the consensus is that they're usually willing to pay about $1 a piece for these mortal Soulstones. So for high spenders, this might be something they are interested in. For more of you that are on a budget and trying to only buy the best offers in game, I don't see anything in the shop here that would be enticing for that kind of a spender. Also, just some quick general gaming news, as I know a lot of you out there are gamers in general. Some pretty big news in the gaming scene. Diablo 4 is slated for an official release on June 6th of 2023, so just over 6 months from now, and it is available for pre-purchase. So I'm sure a lot of you had heard about that, but for those of you that didn't, I just wanted to make sure and cover it because we just got this news as of a few days ago. And I'm not going to go on a 5-minute monologue about Diablo 4 here in a raid video, but I was lucky enough to be in the Diablo 4 closed beta. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to say anything about it because it's under NDA that we signed to be a part of it. So I can't really give you my opinions on Diablo 4 yet, but as soon as I can, I will share that with you, I promise. So alrighty, on the way out, I want to try to be better about interacting with you, pulling up funny comments or pulling up polls that we've done here on the channel to interact with the community that we have here on the channel. And it looks like we got almost 5,000 votes here about is oil worth farming, and about 29% of you saying yes, and the vast majority of you saying no in terms of slamming energy into that ascension mechanic. And I'm actually going to get out of here and go try to touch base with Smiley, because if you check out Smiley's channel, he's got some hot takes about the new oil sand necropolis dungeon. I want to bring him on to talk about his thoughts on that, and then try to have a conversation with some different perspectives and have a good discussion about the oil and the new dungeon. So that is going to do it for me on this one. Have a great start to your week. Remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Raid Shadow Legends content. I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace.